Hello bass players, and welcome to another video tutorial. For the bass part, this time we're looking at the song All Things New. It's in the key of D. In this song, it's not really complicated harmonically. There's not a whole lot going on as far as chords or harmony. But there are quite a few riffs, especially when we're looking at the bass part. So the chord chart I tried to write in and make as much sense on a written piece of paper as I could of what's going on in the bass parts, but that's what we have this video for, is to kind of break them down, try to simplify things a little bit more. All right, the first thing we need to look at is the intro. The intro is played quite a few times in this song, so it's really important that we get this part right, especially since just about every instrument in the arrangement is playing the same part. So if someone does it wrong, we're going to know it. All right, so the intro starts on a B, and throughout the song you'll kind of see me change. I'll use this B, and I might use this B up here too. Just kind of depends on what's going on, which one I'm closer to, or which one makes most sense for the way we have to move around the fretboard. All right, so the intro starts on a B. So that's the rhythm that they play. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice, the first note of the intro doesn't start on a downbeat. It doesn't start on a beat. It starts kind of in between beat 4 and beat 1 of the next measure. So it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that's the first note. Then it does this walk up from C sharp, 4th fret of A, to D, 5th fret of A. Kind of a syncopated rhythm. And this walk up is just a little change to get us back to G. Or I'm sorry, just to get us to a G. And we're playing G on the 3rd fret of the E string. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. When we get to the G, we're going to play the same rhythm that we played on this first B. I'll do that one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now here's kind of where it gets a little complicated. They play this line. I'm just going to play it for you, and then we'll call out the notes. So this is after we play that G. All right, so what they're doing is playing a D, and you'll see this all written on the intro. There's kind of a little section in parentheses. It says notes. That's telling you that these are single note. This is a single note bass line or melody for the other instruments. So they're not chords. So it's D, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, B, and then it goes to F sharp twice. And what I'm doing, you can kind of hear it on the track. They hit the F sharp twice, but they're using a grace note of an open E, so they're going. And they're kind of doing that with this first note D from C sharp to D. Okay, I kind of want you to pay attention to the way that grace note sounds, because it's not accented the way the F sharp is. The F sharp is really prominent. It should not sound like this. Hear how the E shouldn't be as prominent. That sounds correct. This is incorrect. Correct? Incorrect. Okay, so hopefully you can tell the difference between the two. It's a subtlety, but those are the kinds of things that really make music musical. Again, those notes are D, C sharp, D, C sharp. Then I use my pinky to go to this B. And middle finger to A, back to B. And then my index finger is going to reach over to the F sharp. We're actually sliding our hand position over. Okay, here's what the intro sounds like up until that point. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the ending to the intro is really easy. We just play C sharp to D and land on a G, just like we did at the beginning of the intro. Right? Alright, so here's what the whole intro sounds like all put together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it one more time, a little bit slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that moves us into the verse. Again, notes are written on the chord chart, but that's not giving you any indication of rhythm. So we really have to rely on what we're hearing from the track. There isn't, and I should have probably pointed this out in the beginning of this video, there isn't a actual bass player in the song. They're actually using a synth bass, so the bass you hear is from a synthesizer. So that guy's doing a lot of movements. I've tried to take that track and make as much sense of it so that we can apply it to the electric bass instrument. So what I'm hearing in the verse, there's 3 notes: B, A, and G. Okay, and so the way I've kind of put it together is that the B is played short. Okay, so B is played short twice. Then they hold on an A, and then they play the G short. So the first part of the verse sounds like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so just notice the syncopated rhythm on B. It's not straightforward. It's kind of like the intro. Comes in between that beat 4 and 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we play A. Then G is right on the downbeat. All right, so the next part of that verse, So there's a few different rhythms going on between G and A. So once we get to the G, that's the rhythm they play. They hold it out once, and then they do kind of like a transitioning short note. I hope this is making sense. Best thing to do is just to really watch me play it when we're running through the song. But again, once we get to the G, we play it twice short, long, and it's long twice. So twice short, long, long, and then we hit the A twice. And they're kind of quick just to get us back to the B. Let me play that much of the progression back to back so you can kind of see how it's supposed to be played. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That A is. See, and that A leads back to the B, and we're going to hit 2 short Bs immediately after. So one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Once we get to these Bs, again, we're playing short B twice. Then A again, long. And then we just hit the G twice, and that ends the verse. Okay? So here's that whole part put together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's actually how the first half of the verse is played. The first part actually gets played twice, so I'm going to show you how the whole verse sounds before we move on to the next part. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that takes us into the pre-chorus. So in the pre-chorus, we start on a G, and we hit G twice, almost like we were doing in the first part, right on the downbeat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we hit a long note on a syncopated rhythm, and we're going to use that same rhythm to go kind of between A and B. So here's what the part sounds like, and then we'll kind of break it down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically what we're doing, 2 Gs short, then long on a syncopated rhythm. Then 2 Bs short, then a long A. Then go back to G short, long on that syncopated note, and then we build up on an A. So here's what the whole part looks like again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now putting together the verse and the pre-chorus, here's what they sound like together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's the verse and the pre-chorus. I know I'm kind of stumbling through it. It's really just hard to explain without being able to write out the rhythm. So again, you're going to have to use the track and just go back and watch the video of me actually playing through it, being able to hear the drums and the other instruments to kind of make sense of where things are placed in the measure. There's a lot of syncopated rhythm in this song. So just something to really be aware of. And I want to say something as a bass player to think about during this song. It's not as important about where you play as it is when you're not playing. Your rests are just as important as when you're actively playing in this song, because that empty space really gives the song its groove and its feel. All right, so let's move on to the chorus. All right, so the chorus looks like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's the first part of the chorus. We start on a B, go to A, and they do this C sharp to D little walk up, just like we do in the intro, to lead us to G. All right, and so the G lands on a syncopated note, and then it kind of has this choppy rhythm. So let's take a look at that really quick. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba-dum-bum. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then the bass, you'll hear it in the keys and the drums too, making these hits. They do a walk up G, A, to get back to B. So. All right, and then they just do that again. All right, and then you'll see notes written G, D, A, E. When we hit the A, the last A in the chord progression, it's going to be a hit. So we're going from E, A. That'll take us back into the intro. All right, so I just wanted in the chorus at least to point out this walk up from G, A to B, and then that little line to the G with the syncopated rhythm. All right. The rest of the song is actually pretty self-explanatory. Nothing really special or spectacular happens as far as chords or rhythm. One thing I do want to mention in the chord chart, when we're playing the bridge, there's this little walk down. You'll see again in parentheses, it says notes. A walk down G, F sharp, E, D. That's the rhythm it's played in, but it's just something they're using to take us from one progression to another. So the bridge has 2 chord progressions in it. The first progression is G, D, A, and it just repeats that. So that's the way they play the bridge the first 2 times they play it. The last time they play it, they're going to play E, D, A. So they're replacing the G of the chord progression with an E minor. So we're playing E. But the way they get us to that E is this walk down. G, F sharp, E, D. So it sounds like this. I'll play the bridge one time before the last time. So I'm going to play it one time normal, do the walk down, and then play it the way we would do it the last time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that would just take us into the vamp. After the vamp, we go into chorus 2, which is almost identical to the bridge, at least the way that we play the notes. It's going G, D, A, G, D, A, and then they're going to do that same walk down, going to E, D, C sharp, and then that'll take us into the tag, which is just the A and the E. Like I said, those parts are pretty self-explanatory. Just want you to pay attention of the way that they're using that walk down to change the chord progression. Last thing we need to take a look at is the ending. So they end on an intro, so they go back to the then they play this little line. So it's D, C sharp, D, C sharp, and they end on a B. Play that one more time. You can end on either B. I use that one. It's just a little easier since I'm using my index here. It's easier just to reach my pinky. And plus, already kind of used to it from doing the intro that way. All right. Okay, so that's how they end the song. There are quite a bit of opportunities in the chorus and like in the bridge, the vamp, chorus 2, to do bass licks and little runs and fills. This song is in the key of D or B minor. All right, so this is kind of the area I like to stay in to play fills. So 5th fret, 5th and 7th fret on the E and A string. And then on the A string, since we're at the 7th fret, if we just move up to fret 9, and then go from fret 7 and 9, from the A string all the way up to the G string. So it's a really, if you're not really versed in scales and stuff, if you're playing in the key of B minor, this is a really good spot just to kind of go and kind of add your own licks and your own flavor to the song. All right, so if we're playing the bridge, right? So just kind of some ideas. Just want to throw that out there. I know it's really important for musicians to be self-expressive too. So especially in a song like this where it's so structured, and you're kind of you're having to play the rhythm as is for a lot of the parts, like the intro and the verse. It's nice to find those spots where you have freedom to kind of just do your own thing. So I hope that helps you kind of find those opportunities to do that kind of stuff. All right, so that's it for this tutorial. We'll see you next time. Bye.